the Children's Museum of Stockton. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual event, and thank you to Visit Stockton for helping put this together. This week we have a super fun video. We are going to be doing egg science experiments, so egg experiments if you will. We are going to be doing things such as an egg drop, a vinegar egg, and also egg dyeing with Cool Whip and shaving cream. So that sounds like a whole lot of fun. But what I am so excited about is that we actually have our dear museum friend, Brandon Piasecki, Stockton Collegiate's high school chemistry teacher, who is going to be chiming in to explain to us why these reactions are happening, why these things are happening. So we're super excited to have him on board, and I have two very excited little scientists here ready to help me out. So let's get started. All right, now this egg experiment that we are going to be doing is called the egg drop. So we are literally going to be dropping our raw eggs from a high distance, but the goal is to provide some protection for the egg so to see if it doesn't break. So this is pretty fun because this gives the kids an opportunity to really use their imagination and have fun just building their protection around their eggs. So what you need are raw eggs, and you can have a little fun with it. As you can see, Victoria and Adrian decorated their egg. Anything that you can find around the house to protect your egg. And this is the fun part. We went around the house and found toilet paper rolls, tissue, egg cartons, paper bags, plastic cups, styrofoam bowls, cotton balls, anything that you can find around your house. Let the kids use their imagination and really try to come up with something to protect their eggs. So we're going to check in with Victoria and Adrian and see what they came up with. Victoria and Adrian have their materials selected and their ideas. They worked long and hard to come up with some ideas on how to protect their egg. It looks like Victoria is going to be wrapping her egg in some napkins and then putting it in this cup. We will then stuff your tissue box with some cotton balls and some paper bags and put the cup inside there. And then Adrian has a couple of cups here that he's using, and he has put a styrofoam bowl on top that he is planning on using as a parachute. So we're gonna get these eggs all packed in and nicely protected and see if it works.
No, I need a little bit more. My plan is the reason why I put the rubber bands is so like when the egg drops and it'll like bounce on there instead of hitting the rocks. Because if I didn't have the rubber bands, one, the parachute wouldn't be able to be on here, and two, the egg would just crack because it would hit the rocks, like I said.
Okay, very nice. And Victoria, what are you doing over here?
So I have a cup, and then I'm gonna wrap, and then I'm gonna put tape around this because I don't want the egg to fall out.
Okay. And then you're putting that inside your tissue box. All right, good job, guys. All right, so we are ready for our egg drop, but just for fun, we want to see what it would be like to drop a raw egg and see what kind of a mess that makes. This is what we're trying to avoid with our kiddos' egg drop. We are ready to start our egg drop. This is Adrian's creation here, and he made a parachute. So we're going to see if this parachute slows it down. You guys ready? All right, let's get started. Hold that for me. I'm going to go pretty high. All right, this high? Should I go higher? Higher. Higher? I'm too scared to go higher. Okay.
frozen.
Oh, man. Let's see the damage here. We have a casualty. Darn it. Victoria's egg, and hers is pretty packed inside, so after we drop it, we're going to have to open it to see if it survived, okay? Right. Okay. All right. Can I get a countdown, please? 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't touch, don't touch. All right, it looks like the box got a little dented. All right, Adrian, so let's go ahead and open this up and see if he survived. Okay, move toward. Adrian, can you see okay?
Yeah, I can see.
Good job. Okay, this is all the old yolk from earlier. Oh man, you packed them in pretty good here, Tori. Don't whine.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
If yours survived, we're gonna have to throw a party.
All right, Tori. Ooh. Here, we're gonna open this.
Did it survive?
I don't know. Let's see. Tori, back your head up so you can see. Okay, I know. We're gonna find out.
Oh my.
Be very careful. Okay. You guys ready?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Hers survived!
Good job, Victoria. Awesome.
Hers survived, but mine instant death.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Good job, guys. Okay, we are ready to get started with our vinegar egg experiment. All we need here is some white vinegar and raw eggs. All we're going to do is fill up a glass with vinegar and put our eggs inside, and the idea is to leave them for 24 hours at least just to see what effect it has. So before we do that, Victoria and Adrian went through and made their predictions or their guesses of what they think is going to happen to the egg. Adrian thinks that it could become hard-boiled, rotten, or evaporate. And Victoria thinks that it could become crunchy or melt. And both kids think that the egg will float. Right, guys? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead and put our eggs in our vinegar. Perfect. And now we wait. We'll be back tomorrow to see what happens. Bye. Bye. Okay, we are ready to see the results of our vinegar egg. We noticed overnight that it looked fluffy and bubbly. It looked like it was increasing in size, and Tori thought it looked puffy, watery, and very stinky, right guys? Uh-huh. Okay, so it's been over 24 hours. We're going to go ahead and take them out. Why are you guys scared? Take them out.
I don't want our hands to be stinky. Okay.
Okay, take it out. Put it on your napkin.
Oh my.
Dry it off.
Oh my. Oh my gosh, I already feel something already.
Okay, so what do you guys notice?
That it is very jello-y. Very jello-y.
And the shells are about to come off.
Is this shell basically coming off?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's
Do we peel it off?
That's cool, huh? So it's squishy. Let me see. Squish it in your hand. Let me see. Whoa.
It's squishy. Who said squishy?
I think nobody said that it was going to get squishy. We thought it was going to be a lot of other things, but not that, huh? That's cool. I wonder if Mr. Piasecki can tell us why that happened. What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we ask him, Adrian?
Yes.
Wow, this is so amazing.
Mr. Piasecki, how come it's squishy? It's like bouncy egg.
It is a bouncy egg. Let me see you bounce your eggs. That is pretty cool. Now, could you... It's okay. Could you have done that with a hard egg? What would have happened if you would have dropped it?
It would just there would be a mess.
Amazing.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks so much for having me be a part of this little project. All you DIY scientists at home, happy Easter. It's egg science. It's something I love. Back in the day, I used to do this demonstration at the Children's Museum in person, but we're bringing this to you virtually now. So, I had some questions asked by Marianne and her little scientists that I'm going to answer for you. Number one, vinegar and an eggshell. Why does vinegar dissolve an eggshell? Well, an eggshell is made out of a special chemical called calcium carbonate. And what vinegar does, vinegar is an acid and it reacts with these carbonate molecules. Carbonates are found in other places too. A familiar carbonate that you probably know by its store name is baking soda. Baking soda. Ooh, you hear that sizzling? So that reaction is baking soda and vinegar. When they react together, what do you see? Bubbles, of course. Now, the bubbles that are produced are carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide gas is given off, and when that happens, new products are formed. So, I tell you this and I show you this because this is a similar reaction. This is like a fast version of what happens to the eggshell. The eggshell is converted into carbon dioxide, water, and then another product that will just dissolve in the water that is produced from the reactions. So what you end up with if you let it sit for a long period of time is just the membrane, which results in this cool little like squishy ball type situation. So that's what happens when you react vinegar with the eggshell. And this is convenient for when you want to dye eggs a certain color because it just helps penetrate, helps the dye penetrate even more into the shell, just to soak even more fully because ultimately, like, you don't want to dissolve it all the way, right? Like, we don't let the vinegar sit in the egg overnight or anything like that if you're trying just to dye the eggs. But when you just add a little bit of vinegar, it starts that reaction just a little bit to weaken the shell, to get the dye in those pores, to make the color to shine even brighter than it would if it were just regular dye, on the egg itself. So something else that's really, really cool that you can do with eggs is marbling with shaving cream or whipped cream. Now, what's really, really cool about shaving cream and whipped cream is that they have components that we call hydrophilic and hydrophobic. So what this allows them to do is they allow the food dye to spread and kind of suspend within them because the hydrophobic parts don't mix with the food dye. It allows it to kind of spread out. This is what happens. Oil is a good example of something that's hydrophobic. If you have a phobia of something, it means you're scared of that thing. So it means that you don't want to be near it, right? So oil is hydrophobic. It doesn't mix with water. So watch what happens when I drop food dye in it. See how the oil and the food dye don't mix? The dye just floats to the bottom. It stays as a suspended glob. So cool. This is kind of what happens when the dye mixes with the shaving cream. This is a similar effect to what you see here on the screen with this milk and food coloring. The soap is hydrophilic and hydrophobic, which causes the food coloring to spread out in this cool pattern. The shaving cream is like that. It's mostly soap and air, so it causes the cool pattern to form on the egg. So, Easter's amazing. Science is amazing. Let's have some fun this weekend at home with Easter egg science. You guys have a good one. My name is Mr. Piasecki. I teach chemistry. I love science. I love people. I love teaching. I love y'all. Have a great, blessed weekend. All right.
Okay, so we are going to do egg dyeing with Cool Whip and shaving cream
and
eggs and
food coloring.
So for this activity, you definitely want to make sure that you have some gloves on, ready to go. And the idea here is we are going to spread shaving cream in one container and Cool Whip in the other. And we're going to put drops of food coloring inside. The kids will then swirl their colors around and then place their eggs in and see what kind of cool creations they get. So here we go. Okay, so you want to spread out your shaving cream and your Cool Whip, and you want to make sure that you get a good 1 to 2 inches thick. Okay, so now you're going to take your food coloring and just put some drops in particular areas. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Put some drops all around. Mm-hmm.
Now do I mix it? It looks like
Are you done putting your colors? You want to put a little bit more, Toria? How about a little bit more, Kay? Okay, so what you're going to do, you need a skewer or a stick of some sort. A knife will even work. And we're just going to make zigzags, okay?
So do I do it now?
Mm-hmm. Make zigzag lines. Not like that, Tori, zigzags. There you go. There you go. Just make some lines like that because you don't want to mix. Tori, slow down. Okay, so you're just going to do some zigzags because you don't want pools of color. Otherwise, it'll have big blotches on your eggs. And you don't want to mix them either because then you won't get that cool marbling effect. So you're just going to do zigzags through. Just kind of pull them apart a little bit. Okay, now what you're going to do is just put your egg into your mixture, and then you're just going to kind of roll it around. There you go, roll it around. Perfect. And then once you feel like there's enough color on it, take it out.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Tori, go ahead and take that out. That's enough.
Yeah.
And put it right in the egg carton.
Where?
Right there. Yep, you got it. Okay, and then you want to leave the egg coated for about 20 minutes or so that the dye can really penetrate the egg and make a really cool color combination for you.